Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new amazing top 10 video for today. For this video, I'm going to be talking about my 10 favourite classic Doctor Who stories. Now, Classic Who, it is the holy grail of Doctor Who. It is Doctor Who at its best. I absolutely love the classic series a hell of a lot compared to the modern series from 2005 onwards. But I just absolutely genuinely love and prefer the classic series, which is why for Big Finish, I absolutely love what they've done for the 8th Doctor, and I do consider the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann, to be the main Doctor for Big Finish, which is why I just kind of enjoy Paul McGann. But I can't really add Big Finish into Classic Who because it's kind of its own separate thing. So I will be doing a video on my 10 favourite audios from Big Finish, my 10 favourite Big Finish audios at some point. But welcome to my 10 favourite classic Doctor Who stories. Now, these are the ones I absolutely just genuinely love. Now, some stories have kind of moved up the top 10 and some have really moved in, because when I last did this around about 2020, 2021, I haven't really done a top 10 for 2 years. I kind of have to say I really do love the fact some stories have really moved up a bit and then some stories have kind of taken other places. So, are you sitting comfortably, my dears? Good. And I shall begin. So, number 10. In 10th place, I had to put an iconic episode for William Hartnell, and it is the Dalek invasion of Earth. Now, the fact this story is a Dalek story and it's in 10th place, it's still really good. But I just prefer other stories over the Dalek invasion of Earth, and this, unfortunately, is the only Hartnell type story you're ever going to see in this list, because Hartnell, I really find the Hartnell era kind of bits ups and downs and stuff. There's still quite a few good stories in the Hartnell era, but I just prefer other Doctors compared to Hartnell. So for top 10, to actually have this story in, which is the Dalek Invasion of Earth, it's absolutely brilliant. So the Dalek Invasion of Earth, it is the second ever Dalek story to feature the Daleks, and the fact that this is the first time we actually see the Daleks invade Earth, it's actually quite good. I absolutely love it. It's absolutely a fantastic story. Now, we do say goodbye to the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, which is a fantastic goodbye, and it's the very first ever goodbye in Doctor Who history. I mean, it has that iconic line, "One day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward with all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine." I honestly just love the Dalek Invasion of Earth. The Daleks have got so much more to do in this story than they do in the very first story. Because in the very first episode, well, the very first story, we see the Daleks, they're actually walking around the static electricity, so they can't really move outside the Dalek city. Where in this one, because they've got the big dish on their backs, and the Daleks do upgrade their casings as time does go on for the show, it's actually a quite good Dalek story, and I absolutely genuinely love it. So yeah, it's in 10th place. So, number 9. In 9th place, I have to put this in 9th place, and I'm sorry to anybody who really loves this story. In 9th place, it is Spearhead from Space for Jon Pertwee. Now, Spearhead from Space, it is an iconic story. I absolutely love it, but the fact that this used to be number 6, but it's kind of some really good other stories that really took over Spearhead from Space. Now, this story, it introduces us to Jon Pertwee's third Doctor. We are introduced to the Autons for the first time, the Earth setting done so brilliantly. We have Nicholas Courtney back as Alistair Gunn and Lethbridge Stewart. We got Unit back for the second time since the invasion. This story is genuinely just absolutely amazing. It's brilliant. It's just absolutely pure fantastic, and I just love this story so much. But there are other stories I do prefer over this one. But for the 70s, this is literally one of the ones I do rewatch a hell of a lot. And for Jon Pertwee, he has a cracking story as his very first time as the Doctor, which is absolutely brilliant. Number 8. So, number 8. You're probably wondering what is going to be in 8th place. Well, in 8th place, we have a Tom Baker story, and it is The Talents of Wing Chiang. Now, this story, I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. This has actually took over City of Death for me, because City of Death for a very long time was my second ever favourite Tom Baker episode, but this one over the past year has knocked it out of the park. Now, City of Death, City of Death, I absolutely love it. I love the Paris setting and all that. I love Scaraf, but I absolutely love this story. Now, we have basically a villain from the 51st century, Magnus Grill, who's actually draining very, very Victorian ladies of their power, of the life source, so he can try and find a way to renew himself, basically try to keep himself surviving. From the 21st century, from the 51st century, he was also a time agent. So the fact that we kind of have the time agency made in its very first appearance in this episode by the mention of them until Captain Jack Harkness in some years later is absolutely fantastic. Magnus Grill, I absolutely love him. The way he takes his mask off and you see the morph of his face, absolutely brilliant. That would have scared me as a child, but it never actually quite did. But I absolutely love it. Terence William Chang, absolutely amazing and fantastic. So, number 7. In 7th place, we have The Three Doctors. Now, this is my all-time favourite Pertwee story, and this one, you can understand why. So we have a Time Lord from the universe of antimatter trying to break into our universe of matter, and that Time Lord is called Omega, the creator of time travel. The reason why we, the Doctor and the Time Lords, have TARDISes. I absolutely love this one because Omega is trying to find a Time Lord, and the static little bubbly alien creature he sends over basically tracks down the Doctor. So because the Doctor has to call the Time Lords for help, but the Time Lords are having their own power source being drained by Omega, they can't really do anything to help him, but they send the second Doctor to help his future self, which is very, very fantastic because I absolutely love when Patrick Troughton just goes, "Oh my word, oh dear, we are in trouble, aren't we? Lucky for you how much I've turned up." I absolutely love the way how he's there trying to talk to Joe. So, "See, Joe, here's one of me. Oh, I see you both from quite, but not quite. We're not just Time Lords. We're the same Time Lord." "Oh, please, you're just confusing myself. Look, Joe, it's all quite simple. I and he is me." I really love how Pertwee and Troughton really bicker between the two Doctors, which is actually quite funny in some scenes. I mean, I love the bits in the TARDIS. "Oh, you don't see my recorder. I will get you 100 of them. I'll get you 1,000. "Oh, no, not my recorder." Oops. I just absolutely genuinely love... Oh, 12th Doctor ends up getting flying off. So I genuinely just love The Three Doctors. It's a cracking story. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Number 6. So in 6th place, it has to go to The Power of the Daleks. Now, The Power of the Daleks, this one, I used to really put this one very, very low, but I rewatched this one back in December, and my God, now we are in February, so it's been kind of like 2 months. This story is still amazing. The animation for the special edition is absolutely brilliant, but I kind of prefer the 2016 version a little bit more because that is the original time it was released. And for the first full animation story of a missing episode, it was just done so well and so brilliant. I absolutely genuinely love it. The Daleks themselves are fantastic. I love the fact we are on the planet Vulcan, not the Star Trek planet Vulcan, but a different planet Vulcan. Now, what can I actually say about it? Well, we kind of have this human colonies finding the last 2 Daleks in existence because they kind of crash landed on the swamps of Mercury, in the swamps. And of course they are deactivated, they kind of are activated by an idiot known as Lesterton. And even though the Doctor does try to warn him several times, the idiot still doesn't listen and basically ends up giving the Daleks more than enough power to kind of create a whole army of themselves, which is easily defeated by the second Doctor. But this story itself, even though it's literally all 6 parts have been animated to help this story to exist for modern audiences, for Doctor Who fans to go and watch it, it's actually quite good. I love both versions. I really do love both versions of the animation, the original release and the special edition release. I just can't find this story enough. It's absolutely brilliant and amazing and fantastic. I just absolutely genuinely love it. So, number 5. So now we are into the top 5 Doctor Who stories from Classic Who, and these are the ones they are really good written, fantastically written, and fantastically acted. So, number 5, you guessed it, The Invasion. Now, this is probably my favourite ever Troughton story. Every time I've talked about this story, it is my favourite Troughton story. I just genuinely love it. I love Jamie and Zoe. They are 2 best companions for the second Doctor. I love the fact we kind of have the build up of the slow invasion, because we've got the Cyber Planner that really recognises the Doctor and Jamie from Planet 14 from the Wheel in Space. But the fact that Cybermen don't actually make their own appearance until around about the end of episode 4, where you kind of got the noise knocking them out, including the second Doctor, and they just literally climb out of the sewers. And Unit are there trying to stop them in episodes 5, 6, and 7, and 8. This is a fantastic 8-part episode, but the fact that only 2 episodes are missing from the story, but they have been animated, brilliant. The story is just fantastic. It's my 5th favourite story of classic Doctor Who in general. I have rewatched this one since it came out back in 2006. I have rewatched this one quite a lot over the last couple of decades. And it's just absolutely amazing story and fantastic. I just genuinely just love the story. It's done so well. The Cybermen are absolutely at their best. This is the one story I can actually think the Cybermen are literally at their best. Literally at their best since the 10th Planet or the Moon Base. I really think the Cybermen are at their best and I love it. Number 4. Yeah, number 4. So in 4th place, you can probably guess this story, and it's a fantastic one. It is Remembrance of the Daleks from Sylvester McCoy's era. This one I absolutely love. I have rewatched this one back in November to celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who, and to be honest with you, this one has knocked over the Curse of Fenric, because the Curse of Fenric was my favourite McCoy story for a very long time, and this one has actually genuinely took its spot. And as it should, it's a Dalek story. What can I say? We got a Dalek civil war trying to get their hands on the Time Lord weapon known as the End of Omega. So the Daleks want the ability to time travel, but not as, because they can time travel, but not as well as Time Lords. So of course you've got Davros being the leader of the Imperial Daleks, and then of course you've got Dalek Supreme leading the Renegade Daleks, and you kind of got the 2 Daleks fighting over this fantastic device, the Hand of Omega, which basically the Doctor does kind of manipulate Davros to using, and of course Davros does use it and basically turns Skarason into a supernova. I just genuinely love this story. It's absolutely brilliant and amazing. I just flipping love it. I just can't get it. I really can't get enough. Ah, Doctor, now you're beginning to fear. Davros, you are making a grave mistake. You tricked me. No, Davros, you tricked yourself. Do you really think I will let you have control of the End of Omega? Do not do this, I beg of you. Nothing can stop it now. Ah, pity on me. I have got pity for you. I just genuinely just love this story. McCoy is at his best in this episode. Same as the Curse of Fenric. These are the top 2 McCoy stories. But this one's really knocked that story out of the park. I just absolutely love this story. It's brilliant. Number 3. Yes, in 3rd place we have another fantastic story. Generally a brilliant one. Absolutely brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It is the 5 Doctors. So we kind of have the first 3 Doctors being pulled at a time by a time scoop. And of course, not only do we have the 3 Doctors, the 5th Doctor does it. The 4th Doctor, they do, the President Barusa does try to take the 4th Doctor out of his own time zone, but he kind of gets jammed and stuck to whatever, think of the technical term. He's actually quite stuck in it. So the 4th Doctor is kind of stuck in the time vortex a little bit. But the story itself, not only does it celebrate 20 years of Doctor Who, we have Cybermen, we have a Dalek since 4 or 5 years. We have the return of the Yeti. We've got the return of classic companions for the very first time, which is aka Susan. We have Sarah Jane. We've got Jamie. We've got Zoe as Phantoms. We've got Liz Shaw. We've got Captain Yates. We have K9. Then of course we have Tegan and Tala in this story as well, which are 2 great companions to the 5th Doctor. I actually prefer Tegan with the 5th Doctor quite a bit. I absolutely just genuinely love this story. The fact that we have all 5 Doctors, like 4 Doctors technically in this story together, and I really love the way how the 2 Doctors meet for the 1st and 5th Doctors. I might be a number of things, my child, but as it happens, I am the Doctor. The original, you might say. You shouldn't be here. Oh, so no, it only happens in the gravest messages, but like now. I just absolutely flat out love the 5 Doctors. The music is done spot on. Absolutely brilliant. I love the Simon theme, that kind of syllable type music with the Simon going do 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 like that. I absolutely love the Simon theme in this one. But my favourite track is Great Balls of Fire, when John Pertwee's there driving Bessie, and he literally looks and he sees the time skip coming and goes, Great Balls of Fire, and he's there thinking he's got away from it, and then all of a sudden you've got that dun 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 I just absolutely genuinely love the Five Doctors. It's absolutely brilliant and amazing. I just genuinely love it. I really love the Five Doctors. I'm so glad we've got 3 versions of it now in 2024. We got the original version from 1983, we got the 1995 special edition, and we got the special edition of 2023 in 2024. It's absolutely brilliant and amazing. I really love I just absolutely genuinely love the Five Doctors. I have got so many. I could actually do a whole video on why I love the Five Doctors. If anyone would like to see that, if you would like to see me talk about why I absolutely genuinely love the Five Doctors so much, like I do with this smile on my face, you can understand why if you want me to. So, number 2, in second place, we have Peter Davison's finale as the Fifth Doctor, The Caves of Androzani. Yeah, this one is definitely Peter Davison's best story as the Fifth Doctor. Why? Because the Doctor's in this situation, if he doesn't interfere, he can't win. He either interferes or doesn't interfere. He's still stuck in the situation. And of course, he's dying from spectrotoxemia. So is Peri. He kind of gets kidnapped, and then of course he gets basically threatened, tortured a little bit, where the androids threatened, where Sirius Jack basically threatened to have the androids pull off his arms at one point. I absolutely love the story. Davison is at his best in this episode. I really wish we kind of had this version of the Fifth Doctor a bit more in some of his era, not the kind of persona we had from season 19 and 20. But this one's absolutely brilliant because this is the Doctor where he's trying to push himself. He's trying to make himself save Peri, this girl who's only just met in the previous story because she's dying of spectrotoxemia. The only cure for it is bat's milk. And the Doctor basically doesn't know he's going to regenerate at the end of the story because he gives that line, I might regenerate, I don't know, it feels different this time, and boom, he still regenerates, but which is why the Sixth Doctor is very, very hazily and very, very different. Which is why I quite enjoyed The Caves of Androzani. It's just a brilliant, and it's my favourite ever regeneration story. If you haven't seen it, check it out because it is the best regeneration story from classic Doctor Who. Out of all of Doctor Who, including modern Who. This is the best episode for a regeneration. It's absolutely just, it's fucking brilliant, and it's written by Robert Holmes. Robert Holmes wrote the story. It's you can tell why I love it. And then of course, number 1, we have Genesis of the Daleks. This one's been my favourite ever since I was a child, and I can't really explain why it's been my favourite since I was a child, but I just genuinely absolutely flipping love this story. It's brilliant, it's amazing. I love every little detail to it. I love the fact we are in the wastelands of Skaro. We've got the Time Lords putting the Doctor on a mission to try and stop the Daleks from being created, or try and develop them, or try and turn them into lesser dominant creatures. But the Doctor does fail, but he does delay them by 1,000 years. I just really love this story. It's absolutely brilliant. So that is my 10 favourite classic Doctor Who stories. If you really, really, really would like me to do a video on why I just absolutely genuinely love the Five Doctors, I'm really happy to do it because I just genuinely love it. It's my 3rd favourite story from classic Doctor Who in general. Out of all of Doctor Who, it's my 3rd favourite. I just genuinely love it. I absolutely just genuinely love it. I might do a video about my 20 favourite episodes of Doctor Who, which is basically these 10 and then the 10 from modern Doctor Who, which I probably won't do because I don't really want to re-mention this list now for another 2 years. But yeah, check this out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what are your 10 favourite classic Doctor Who stories, and please let me know if you really would like me to do that video on why I absolutely love the Five Doctors. I would really love to do that. So thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content on this fantastic channel.